Mike Cardano with weather experts in the Fantasy Sports Network here with you, and I'm here to put the odds of winning in daily fantasy gaming in your favor. So sit up straight and pay attention, or risk losing your money to others who are. Now, if you've been paying attention at all this season, you know that I have a man crush on Dickerson when he faces righties. I've been playing him all season when he's been in the lineups against right-handers, even when he didn't have a full-time gig. Well, he's got one now, in part because of circumstance, but also in part because of his production. He's earned it. To put things into perspective, if you think Charlie Blackmon is having a good season, check this out. Dickerson, who has not gotten regular playing time until just recently, has 129 less plate appearances with just 15 less RBI, 17 less runs scored, 9 less stolen bases, just 2 less home runs, and he's hitting 48 points higher. Now, Dickerson is hitting .371 against righties with an OPS of 1138, and he faces right-hander Lance Lynn at Coors Field today. He's not the cheapest option in the world anymore, as the secret's now out, so hopefully you were able to play him quite a bit when I was recommending him at bargain basement prices. And while I cannot guarantee you that he will work out in daily fantasy tonight, I can tell you that he has worked out more than he hasn't in these instances, and I will continue to run him out there in situations like this as long as he continues to produce. In that same game, I'm going to play Cardinals first baseman Matt Adams, who is as cheap as dirt compared to the high-end first baseman, but I think you'll have a good shot of having him perform like a stud tonight. He's facing right-hander Jahoulis Chassin, who's not to be confused with any aces in Major League Baseball, and Adams is hitting .363 with a .947 OPS against righties. Now, there's been much talk in the first half about not looking to stack players in the first game of a series at Coors Field, as scores seem to be suppressed. Now, whether the numbers are supporting it or not, it really doesn't sound like a thing to me. It sounds more like a small sample anomaly. But regardless, I found 2 guys here, one on each team, that I want to play tonight. There's plenty of high-end pitching throwing tonight, but I'm going to drop down a bit in price and play Alex Cobb. Now, the Pirates aren't awful against righties, but I'm spending quite a bit on hitting today, and I can't afford any of the real marquee names. And Cobb is a control guy with strikeout stuff, throwing in one of the best pitching parks in the game. Now, his xFIP sits in the low 3s, and he's sporting nearly identical stats to last year. That's great. And at 16,332 on Draft Street, 8,700 on DraftKings, and just 7,600 on FanDuel, Alex Cobb is priced right. Not a full slate of games today. There rarely is on a Monday. Today we have just 10. There's a 30% chance of isolated thunderstorms forecast for both the Reds and Cubs at Wrigley Field and the Dodgers and Royals at Kauffman Stadium, and a 40% chance of inclement weather for the Cardinals and Rockies at Coors Field. But nothing here looks like any of the games will be in jeopardy, at least not at this point. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't be double checking before game time. That's the prudent thing to do. Good luck in your daily fantasy game today, everyone. Feel free to hit me up on Twitter with your questions and concerns. My handle's @MikeCardano, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow on the Fantasy Sports Network.